They can't touch you when you're this version of you. Have you ever finally locked into your state? You're in the wish fulfilled. You're holding on to your I am, and then your SP, your specific person, or someone you love just goes off on you. They say something that hits below the belt. They accuse you of things you never did. They mock your growth. They say you haven't changed. They try to drag you back to a version of yourself that you've already long buried. You let that old man die. And suddenly you feel it, that wobble, that flicker of, am I crazy? Did I make all of this up? Because the 3D is screaming at you to break character. But this is where everything changes, because in this live stream, I'll answer 3 sacred questions that most people never even ask. How do I stay in the wish fulfilled when my SP or others are attacking me? 1. What do I do when I'm being gaslit or disrespected? And I want to hold state without collapsing or reacting. And how do I stop attracting chaos, disrespect, or projections without going no contact, leaving, giving up all of my power? That's number 3. Look, because I've been there, because I know what it's like to wake up in the morning in your power, grounded, aligned, and manifesting like the God you are, only to get derailed by one comment, one side eye, one emotional ambush that makes you feel like all your work didn't and never will matter. You were in your power this morning, and now you're pacing the kitchen, rewriting the script, wondering if this whole I am thing is even real. And that's where most people, they collapse. They defend, they explain, they try to justify their healing to someone who's committed to misunderstanding them. But that's not what we're here for. You're not here to match their chaos. You're not here to walk on eggshells or blow up your life. You're here to hold your state, not with force, but with neutrality, so deep it feels like armor. Let's get into this now, because your calm is the shield that ends the pattern. You're not here to fix their behavior. You're here to break the loop that keeps you reacting to them. So when they attack verbally, emotionally, energetically, don't match them. Don't collapse. And don't even defend. Put the shield, put the sword down. Breathe. Anchor. Stay. Look, this isn't about being passive. It's about being unavailable for their war. Your stillness is not a weakness. It's a force field. It's a boundary between your old life and your new identity. Because when you hold that calm in the face of chaos, you're not just protecting your manifestation, you're shifting timelines. So, what do I do when I'm being gaslit, blamed, or disrespected? And I want to just hold that state without collapsing or reacting. How do I do that? Well, first off, you stop explaining your evolution to people who are committed to the old you, the old identity. You don't have to prove anything. Because even when you hold your calm, even when you don't explode back, there's a trap that steals your power. Explaining yourself to someone who's already decided who you are. Let me know if this sounds familiar. Do you say, I'm not like that anymore? I'm doing the work. I'm different now. But they can't hear you because they're not tuned in to that version of you. And when you start performing your progress, you've already stepped out of the version of you that doesn't need them to see you. And now you're back into that old script that you've been trying to escape. You're back in the matrix. You're back in your old identity. So here's the shift. Stop explaining. Start embodying. This means no proving. This means no defending and no sermons or monologues, okay? Just a quiet presence that says, I already know who I am. I don't need you to get it. How does that fit? Next, here's another question. How do I stop attracting that chaos, disrespect, or those projections without going no contact, just getting a divorce, just breaking up and giving up my power? Here's how. You don't block people. You don't do it. It's a waste of energy. You're giving them more power than they actually have. You become unavailable to the version of them that attacks you because you don't need to cut them off. You don't need to explain or weaponize boundaries like all the other coaches say to do. You don't even need to block them or leave them. Just stop being available to the version of them that's still attacking. This isn't spiritual bypass. This isn't pretending that you're above it. This is your identity. This is energetic clarity and safety, because when you hold yourself as the version of you who never was disrespected, never blamed, never guilted, you stop pulling in the timelines where that version of them exists. Either they shift or they just can't find you. You don't need to punish them. Just stop rehearsing that old script. It's like going to a copy machine, hitting print over and over and over again, not understanding that you keep printing out the same copy, expecting a new one. Stop it. Because you've already decided, I only interact with people who reflect my I am. And reality just obeys. I have been teaching this technique to individuals over the last 7 years, discerning and navigating divorce, saving their relationships, and I've heard it all. But Anthony, if I walk away, my partner says, if I walk away, it's over. If I walk away, then that means that confirms that I don't love them. Stop. You're just reacting to those old, outdated illusions, those lies of the 3D senses. When you walk away, let them scream at your back, because that will stop if you stop reacting to it. Because trust me, fighting with them and matching with them and getting righteously angry and just saying, well, because they're having a problem, I have a problem with them too. That is not working, is it? So stop. Walk away. Come back later. Look, you don't need another YouTube video. You need a shield. Your shield. And I'm not talking about some pretty white light of warmth and love. Ooh, it's so nice. Not a bubble. I'm talking about the armor of God, crafted by your own I am. Not imagined, installed, brought out of you. This is about becoming impenetrable from the inside out, where their words no longer enter, where their chaos no longer moves you, where your nervous system is not broken. It doesn't even flinch. It bounces right off because it knows who you are. What I'm saying is, when you coach with me one-on-one, we don't react to the 3D. We reprogram it. You're the shield. I will walk you through it and get the exact frequency where your shield gets built. Not copying mine or somebody else's, but forged in your own divine fire. Because when that's installed, there is nothing left to protect, only reality left to obey. So tap the link in the description to book your private session with me. Let's forge your shield and anchor the version of you they can never touch again. This is Anthony Cortino, Sacred Cobra. Remember, please, you are sacred, you're worthy, and you're love. We'll see you next time. Cheers.